just lost power steering, just driving absolutely normally, and I've got a Christmas tree in front of me. Transmission fault, servotronic failure, PDC failure, dynamic damping control fault. I'm gonna have to pull over here. Owning one of your dream cars is a really nice feeling. All of those years spent figuring out how to make it happen and imagining what it might be like. And now it's here, sat on my driveway. However, when the dream car in question is a 20-year-old S85 engined BMW M6, you know that you're going to be in for a bumpy ride.
It was like a spaniel that's crashed into the back of the head.
And it's certainly not everyone's favourite car either.
It's Joel's BMW M6 is his name. It's Joel. That's a hideous car.
I can already hear the comments. What did you expect? You bought an old V10 BMW. You should have bought a Land Cruiser. And honestly, fair enough. But what's interesting is that up until this moment, the car had been relatively okay. No real warning signs, no rough running since we changed the ignition coils and spark plugs, and no weird noises, which makes this a little bit more concerning. DSC failure. Okay, I've lost, some of the warning lights have gone off by themselves. The steering is heavy, I've got no power steering. Heads-up displays come back. Transmission fault. Oh dear. Yeah, I've lost EDC. It's just doing all this stuff by itself. It's really, really weird. Airbag lights just come on. I'm going to switch it off and then turn it back on again. Car's in drive, let's put it into neutral. Switch off the engine. Flat tyre monitor. Electric steering wheel lock under strain. Steering wheel cannot be unlocked. Let's try and start it again. Let's go. Okay, all the warning lights are gone. Okay, I'm gonna take this home. I don't think I'm gonna try and do any more miles of it today. And it'll be a trip to RBM Hampshire. The weirdest thing is that after restarting it, the car behaved perfectly. But that's almost worse, because when a car throws every single warning light under the sun and then pretends that nothing happened, that definitely means there's an underlying issue. So the car's driving absolutely fine now. Done a few miles since that thing just happened. It just seems to be having a complete electronic meltdown. Every single warning light comes up, power steering goes. The car, just before I restarted it, lost drive. It's not the sort of issue that you want to keep running the car with, so yeah, we're going to need to go and get that looked at. This car is honestly telepathic, but not in a good way, because just before that was all happening, I was driving along to where I was going to film the video this was meant to be, and I was just thinking, you know what, this car's been really good. It had that weird electronic issue once, it's not done it again since. I'm going to go in and have it looked at anyway and sorted, but you know what, these aren't as bad as everyone says. As soon as I had that thought, that's when the heads-up display in the iDrive disappeared and came back on, and then it wasn't long after that it just had a shit fit, basically. Okay, back home, parked in the carport, and yeah, we've just driven back and no problems at all, absolutely fine. If we go into the check control now, nothing apart from PDC failure, which I keep getting for the parking sensors. So yeah, it's a weird one. Obviously, we'll get it sorted. Maybe it's alternator related, maybe it's a battery connection. Hopefully it's not water ingress. Fingers crossed for something just like an alternator. Having a car that can just put itself to sleep at any point with no warning is basically as good as useless. So I need to take it into RBM to get it sorted, for only about the 10th time in the last 3 months. The most important thing you can do before going to any garage is taking a bribe with you. Ask me how I know. Okay, Ross, well, hello again. Happy New Year.
Hello,
it's good
Joel.
to see you.
You too.
I think I'll be seeing quite a lot of you this year, with obviously owning this M6. So, Tim has been busy this morning, hasn't he?
Yeah, so Tim's been looking at it and carrying out the diagnosis.
Plugging ISTA in, and essentially, I think we're basically kind of none the wiser to an extent, but we have a bit of a plan.
At the moment, it's not actually faulting, is it? So
No.
So you've obviously driven it to us today. You've been having some warning lights over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
But today, sod's law, it's not actually doing the. It's not
Obviously.
actually faulting, is it?
No.
So it's got a few faults in there to do with alternator communication.
Yeah.
Which obviously is a good indication of what the problem could be.
Yeah.
He's put the multimeter on it just to check the outage of the alternator.
Yeah.
And that's actually reading okay at the moment, so it's almost like it's got a bit of an intermittent, possibly the regulator on the back of the alternator. Obviously, I think about 6 months ago we put a new battery in it, genuine BMW battery.
Yes.
So obviously we've just gone over that, checked it, everything's good with that. The battery percentages are all good.
Yeah, we tested it, that was absolutely fine.
So we've checked the alternator, and it looks like it's got the original one on there.
Yeah.
We have changed them in the past on this this engine.
Yeah.
So we're sort of steering down that sort of side of things where we think maybe go with an alternator, new belt.
Yeah.
And then maybe
I'll drive it for a week and see if it happens again.
Yeah.
It's got to the point now where every time I drive it for more than half an hour, it will come up with some sort of fault.
Which is unusual that it didn't do it this morning, because obviously it's...
I drove half an hour to get here and it was absolutely fine, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're happy with that, obviously you just want to do something, because obviously the light keeps coming on, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we'll change the alternator, do a belt wire in there, and then hopefully that does it. If not, it's probably going to be some more complicated wiring issue, which means it's going to be off the road for a while.
And this right here is my biggest concern. Electrical faults are common on the E63 platform. There's so many stories of random electrical glitches, crazy dashboard light shows, and modules acting up simply because the car has a very complex wiring network and lots of aging connectors and modules. There's also 1,000,001 electrical issues that can be caused by water ingress too. Moisture can get into wiring harness areas, at which point you're going to get false warning codes, stuck sensor readings, weird intermittent faults, or even complete electrical shutdowns.
Computer says no.
And any BMW owner will know that these cars are really susceptible to bad batteries or low voltage batteries. A slightly under voltage or old battery can cause a bunch of problems like ECU glitches. And these kinds of faults can mimic big system failures like DSC, power steering, gearbox warnings, etc. Exactly like what I just had before I brought my car to RBM.
It looks like you've been enjoying it though.
Oh, it's honestly...
I keep seeing videos pop up on my YouTube of you driving through tunnels.
Ask my wife, because every time I get home after taking this out, I've got a big smile on my face. You know, I've talked to you about having a V10 for years.
Yeah.
Which is why you ended up telling me about this one and I ended up buying
definitely. It's actually 20 years old this year, isn't it, this car?
Yeah, it will be, yeah. I didn't think of that, yeah.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? So obviously you're expecting a few bills on it, being 20 years old, but yeah.
And the other thing, of course, is that mileage dot on the instrument cluster. It had a new instrument cluster at some point.
Yeah, it had a failure, I think, of an instrument cluster, but the previous owner hadn't bought a new one. They had bought a second-hand one, and then also when you guys plug it into Ista, it comes up as having 326,000 miles on it. So there's a little part of me that thinks maybe this has been clocked.
And this is the other big question mark I've got over my M6, is that has it had a mileage rollback at some point? And the craziest thing is that when I start the car up after this conversation with Ross, you'll see that the car decided it did have an ever so slightly different mileage.
So I think we're going to do alternator and a new drive belt while we're there.
Then I'll sod off, drive it for a bit, see what happens. Okay.
Then we'll know the battery's good, the alternator will be good, and then obviously you can see how you get on.
Fingers crossed that does it.
So you know how I was just talking about the fact I think this car could be clocked? The odometer is now reading 621,347 miles. What the actual f***? My heart has just dropped. What the hell have I actually bought?
And then to make matters even weirder, the next morning when I went to drive the car, this had happened.
Hey guys, so just wanted to let you know here first that I'm going to be selling my delivery mileage BMW M6. Yep, it's only got 7 miles. I don't know if you can see that. Just got 7 miles on the odometer there. So yeah, probably looking for about 50 grand, something like that. So if anyone wants it, let me know. It definitely didn't have 621,000 miles on the clock yesterday. It is a delivery mileage car, 7 genuine miles. So yeah, £50,000. Let me know if you want it in the comments. So yeah, something very fishy is going on with this car, and I haven't quite worked out what. When you do a mileage check online, everything more or less tends to check out apart from one slight MOT discrepancy. So I really can't put my finger on it. But then I realised that mileage of 621,347 almost exactly equates to 999,999 kilometres. It's almost like an emergency default setting that BMW put in potentially when the odometer is faulting. And then what happened, of course, as I drove the car and the mileage went up, it must have ticked over that 1 million kilometre mark. Hence why the next morning I then had 007. So at this point, I don't even know what to think. Hopefully it is just indeed a faulty instrument cluster, or perhaps one that needs to be coded in properly, and that I do in fact have a mere, but still quite large, 129,000 miles on the clock. So now I'm taking my newly delivery mileage M6 down to RBM for its new alternator. Yeah, I reckon if you convert that to kilometres, it's now reading a little over 1 million. Obviously got to 99999 because there's only 6 digits. It's rolled over, and hence why I'm now reading 7 miles. But regardless, I'm actually a little bit nervous, because if this alternator doesn't fix my electrical issue, then it could genuinely mean the car is off the road for a fair amount of time whilst we do some further analysis. And of course, that will also get very, very expensive. So what do you think? Is the alternator going to fix it? And has my M6 been clocked? Comments below. You can find out in the next video.